All right, guys, welcome back to Cold Pizza Watch Reviews. Today we're talking about a knife. It's a CRKT M16. You want to know what I think about it? Hold tight. All right, guys, welcome back. Today I'm talking about a CRKT knife I picked up a couple months ago, and I've been running it pretty hard. It's the M16-10KZ. And when I got the knife, I thought, how come I don't hear much about CRKT anymore? It seems like they were the knife 6, 7, 8 years ago. When I try to find some reviews on this knife, they're all old. So let me get into it. I'll tell you what I like about it and what I don't like about it. So right off, you probably notice this little red dot here. This is an automated liner safety. And at first I thought this is kind of stupid. So when you're opening the blade, this automatically locks the blade in place. You also have your lock here. But I think what's neat about it is you can see how that safety, let's hold it up here, it's pushing against, so you're not going to hit this inadvertently. And although it's a safety, if you jab something and you hit that knife down and you close that knife on your hand, that's the whole point of that liner safety. It's really easy to close. You just pull it back, push in, blade closes. Not a problem. This is a 3-inch stainless steel high carbon blade. It's a 8CR13 MOV blade. The grip on this knife is awesome. I mean, you've got some good area covering over your finger here. I really like the grip. The one thing I don't like about it is when you go to flip the knife out, if you've got longer fingers, they do want to kind of lay over the blade. You don't have as much space like you would on this Civivi. You see how I'm clear of the blade, not a problem. The CRKT, you kind of can't help but get your hand over it or your fingers over it. So you get used to where you're going to place your fingers when you flip it open. You know, you'll get used to it after a couple of days, but it's a compact knife. You definitely don't even feel it in your pocket. So it's a Carson flipper. It's basically how you're going to be opening it. See how I drug it out just a little bit? You'll find yourself doing that from time to time, that you'll grab the blade with your finger and not get it completely flipped out. So that said, that's probably the one negative that you'll see from time to time, is just hitting that blade with your finger and, oh, I got to finish flicking it on out. It's not the end of the world, but hey, that's what it is. So you see that there. We'll close it back up. You just learn to just grip it a little bit differently. Real smooth action. And I would say after about a week, it was broken in. I added a little bit of oil and it's been opening nice and smooth. So if you're like me and you like to maintain your knives, you want to know what your Torx bit is going to be, looking at like a T6 for everything. So we got a T6. Let's see. Yeah, everything's a T6. T6. Yeah, even the clip's a T6. So, yeah, everything's T6. So that's good to know. Easy to work on. This is going to be blade down in your pocket. You cannot rotate that clip. See, there's no spot to rotate it. It will be blade down in your pocket. So just it depends on how you like to carry your knife. But man, I've really enjoyed it. For a lightweight, cheap, sub $45 knife, I was kind of skeptical. I've never owned a CRKT. I kind of thought, well, I don't think anybody really buys these anymore except newbies to the knife world. But hey, if you want to hate on it, hate on it. You want to call it the Nickelback of knives, you want to call it the Glock 19 of knives, I like it. I'd recommend it. You're going to get used to this little locking tab right here. And I thought this was going to break immediately. I'm like, man, what a stupid thing to put on a knife. That's going to get broken and not work. But I haven't had any issues with it. And again, it's getting some heavy use for me. Real smooth deployment. I'm not a fan of serrations, but the reason it's so far down here, that doesn't bother me. Because if I have to use them, I'll use them. But it gives me plenty of blade on the rest of the knife to use. So I was like, I don't really want serrations, but it doesn't take up so much of the knife that I'm stressed about it. Real lightweight. So after some heavy use, let's see here. Blade is centered. I've not taken it apart yet. I've not had to readjust it. I didn't even have to readjust the blade tension here either. Out of the box, it was working great. It was a little stiff, a little bit of oil, and no problems. Now they make I don't know how many different of these M16 variants. I think there are some that don't have the safety. I think you can get them without the Tonto blade. You can get them without the black coating. Different lengths, different handles. But I like the compact M16-10KZ. I mean, here's the Civivi comparison. Put these side by side. Elementum, Civivi Elementum. The Civivi just takes up more space in my pocket. I really notice it in the pocket. The CRKT is real light, and it just kind of lays to one side in your pocket. The Civivi just kind of occupies a good amount of area. It's lightweight, but you really know the Civivi's there. CRKT, man, it's just smooth. It's a light little knife sitting in your pocket. I would recommend it. $40. I mean, Elementum was more. I mean, Elementum's going 40, 45, 50. Not a bad little knife. I mean, again, don't know. I'm curious, is there hate in the knife world for CRKT? I mean, what happened to them? I mean, is this like Spyderco knockoff? I've never owned one, and simply because I didn't really get into the Spyderco, CRKT, Serration stuff. But I thought I'd give this one a try. If you got one, or you know what the deal is with them, is this a piece of junk? Did yours break? Or have you got one for years and years and it's working great? I'd love to know in the comments. So post it below. And as always, guys, I appreciate you tuning in to Cold Pizza Watch Reviews.